Mark, it's Lucy. I still need you. Call my cell, 566-2898. Bye. Mr. Sheriff. When I went in to look at personnel files in Monroe County, an administrative captain of that department walked in to look at me looking at the files. He said, "You're Lucy Morgan." I said, "Yes." I said, "Why?" He said, "I just wanted to meet the lady that was terrorizing sheriffs." If government or law enforcement is not doing the job that they're supposed to do, somebody needs to make them do it. And I think that is probably the best role that a newspaper can play. That motivates me, that and simply getting at the truth of what a situation is. Now, are you living in the house?
No.
Who's living there? My mother tells me I was a naturally nosy child. She said that every time she would start to tell me a story, from a very early age, my question would be, is it really true? I had no vision of becoming a reporter until I was one. I was living in Crystal River with 3 children at home, and a woman knocked on my door, honest to God, this is a true story, and introduced herself as Frances DeVore, the area editor of the Ocala Star-Banner. And she asked me if I would write for the paper. She told me that it was a bit of an emergency, that their local correspondent had died in a traffic accident, and that they needed somebody in a rush. I said, but I've never written anything. Why would you come to me? She said, well, the local librarian told me that you read more books than anybody in town, and I figured if you can read, you probably can write. At the time, we didn't have any money. I was married to a high school football coach in Crystal River, and I said, well, I could use the money. I'll try it.
Lucy Morgan is an institution in this state. I've been lobbying for 20 years. She has forgotten more than all of the lobbyists out in that rotunda can ever remember.
It was a very different world. It was very much a man's world. My first assignment was to cover the Crystal River City Council, which had developed the habit over the years of telling the little correspondents who were there, "Now don't write this, dear," and they would put down their pens and not write it. Unfortunately, I don't know what made me write it when they told me not to write it, but when they did it, I wrote it. And I've sort of been in trouble ever since.